Hey everyone, welcome. Long time no see. In this video, you already know that, but I'm gonna still tell you. In this video, I'm gonna make this cute, delicate, ruffle red dress. Let's start. This video will be typically for beginners, but if you're like an intermediate or advanced level user, you can still watch it to gain some tips and tricks that I will show you throughout this video. And if you're hearing my tired voice, forgive me. So I'm gonna make this dress with a rectangle pattern. So select this rectangle and just drag it like this. Anyway, if you have seen my previous video, you will know the technique very much, but I'm gonna still tell you. And before that, the very first thing you have to do is just double click to select your avatar and make sure the skin offset is 0.5 or 1, or I generally set it to 0 millimeter. By default it's 3, which is way too aggressive. Just don't use 3, never. Anyway, let's create this rectangle and I'm gonna place it around this area. Now I'm going to select that and Control C and Control V to the other side. And let's select that and rotate it, because if I select this single layer surface, you can see this is the correct normal. So this has to be like this. If you don't rotate and move it, make it like this, it's not accurate, because the normals are facing that way, which shouldn't be. So I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to use this segment cell, and sew it here and sew it here. You have to make sure that this sewing thread should not clip with the hand. So let's focus to that, like that, and also this. So I'm gonna select this and this segment and drag it there more. So I don't want any clipping on this hand as well. So let's adjust its position and simulate for now. I really like to use thick texture surface all the time. Let's select everything with Control A, single click here to bring up the gizmo and just bring it up. It looks very tight to me, so I'm gonna select this too and drag it like that, like this. Let's fix this side seam nicely here as well, and I'm gonna place it there. Now I want to reduce this excess fabric by just selecting this segments and drag it up to the waist area, and that's how you can reduce this excess fabric, and also you can reduce this unwanted folds. Just let's keep it tight here, because yeah, why not, and try to maintain the position of this line. Now to make this area a bit nicer, let's use this edit curve point and just curve it like that, just a bit, so it makes here a nice straight gradient. Yeah, like that. Now let's make this strap. I'm gonna use this add point tool, and I'm gonna add a point right about here. So I'm gonna add a point here. I'm gonna keep maybe 20 millimeters. So right click instead of left click and hit 20 and hit OK, and kind of do the same thing here as well. So let's see, the gap is 51 millimeters, so I'm gonna gap it 51. So right click 51 and then 20, and the back as well. So here I'm gonna add here and 20. I'm gonna see the length, which is 49.5. So 49.5. Right click 20. Let's add another rectangle of a strap. The width should be 20 as well. So this is a nice way of making this. If you measure it, like if you select this rectangle tool and single click, you can make the width 20 and height like 40 or 100. That's one way to do this. And if you don't like putting those numbers, just drag it. It's your habit. Then just go and place it here. Use edit pattern and then snap it this point and snap it this point. So yeah, and segments are here. Let's adjust its location on the shoulder area, or it should be. Make it bigger, and segments are here to here. And you can see I put these points a bit offside, so I'm going to select these lines and drag it to the right side until you see a nice a good location there. If you select both and then drag the point gets measurements gets messed up. So instead of dragging on points, dragging on the line. Anyway, I'm going to select this two, right click and freeze, and then of course simulate to see. Well, I messed up here as well, so I'm going to select this and drag it to the left. I find maybe there. This should not be going anywhere, and they're a bit tighter, so I'm going to select that and make it a bit loose. Select that, unfreeze, simulate. Well, all right, I'm gonna put this a bit upward, especially in the side seam, and I'm gonna select that and Control C and Control V there. I'm gonna sew here. I'm gonna sew here as well. So here, and I need to shift this to the left side. Let's see here, 79.7. This is 868, so 79.9. Yeah, and let's see this, which is 71. This is 51, so 70. Yeah, almost. And of course simulate. Yeah, I'm gonna make this a bit there, so like that. 58. Yeah, should look fine. 58. There we go. And the back as well, so just a bit, so 70. This one 70 as well. Let's make it a bit upward like that, and I'm gonna make this a bit upward, and I'm gonna make this a bit curvier like that, so it just balance out everything. Let's make it a bit upward. If you have excess fabric like that, just select that with transform point, double click in the middle, drag it, and then right click, then type 95, hit OK. Same thing with here, double click, drag, then right click, 95, and simulate. And make sure to have a pretty balanced top balance, smooth line there. And what you can do, another thing, which is this strap will go sometimes off, will go off solder. So what you can do is select that, right click, and hit solidify. So they will not bounce around of the solder. Let's maintain its positions right there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another rectangle. So I'm going to select everything and then freeze. Let's create a rectangle, single click, and 310.4. And this one is 310.6. So 310.6. And then segments of front and segments of back. So put it in the front and then rotate it like that and put it behind. And then of course simulate. Great. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select an amazing tool which is called fullness line. I'm going to drag from here and like this. Direction should be both, and fullness line length, just increase it, maybe 550. Hit OK. Do the same thing here as well. So both and 550. Hit OK. Then simulate to properly simulate everything. And if you see this kind of path fold happening, all you have to do is just select this to curve point and then add one curve and then make it a bit curvier like that, and it will solve this issue. And make sure these are quite same, like this measurement should be quite same. Make enough curvier that reduce this excess and bad fold. And now I'm gonna so here and here as well and simulate first. Yeah, it will be really tight, but bear with me. Now I'm going to select this tool and drag it down. So I want them to go somewhere like here. So drag it down, simulate, drag it down, simulate. Bit up like that. And I'm going to make this a bit wider. So first select that with transform point, double click in the middle to activate the pivot, and then right click, drag and then right click and type 120%, and same thing here, 120%. So it creates a bit more fabric there. And as you can see, this area is way too tight. I'm going to select that to see where it is and then curve it like that. Make sure to curve it here as well, and make sure these measurements are almost same, and simulate. So I want this as a bit loose and excess fabric there. And the same thing here, as you can see, the very bad fold. Select that point, delete that, add curve, and then curve this a bit more like this. And curve here as well. So see this excess fabric and this excess fabric. So just do a bunch of curves like that and it will be solved. And you can also add some excess fabric here. So I'm gonna add a bit fabric there to maintain the overall shape like that. here as well. So just add a bit fabric there, here as well, like that, and simulate. And then I'm going to do, I'm going to select, turn on this show internal line, and with the internal polygon, I'm going to create a slit skirt design, something like that. And then use edit curve to add curve point here and here. Select this point, right click, convert to curve point, and adjust this curve nicely. Just add some curves. Let's shift the curve to make a nice curvy thing. I mean, let's make this a bit bigger, somewhere around there, and let's drag this while holding D, and let's make this and drag this while holding D. Select this, right click, and then cut, and then delete this cut. So you have a nice slit skirt design. And let's fix this cut nicely. So it should be narrower here, and it gets wider at the bottom. Do not see the 2D window that much, just use this, see this shape. Let's fix this issue. I don't want that much of curvy. It has some excess fabric which I don't want, so I want to reduce it. So keep dragging it down so it reduces this fabric there. And let's see. Let's delete these 2 points and try to match this measurement. Keep dragging and keep an eye on the skirt design, the slit, the cut design. So should be a bit long cut like that. Always see the 2D 3D window and try to adjust the shape as much as you can, because that's what makes this dress amazing, you know. And let's delete these points, drag this point while holding D. So you can see if I don't hold D, every curve point will move, and if I hold D, that's perfect. Yeah, I cannot explain, but I think you get the point. Should go like this, and at some point make it narrower. And let's drag this like that. I don't want to make this that big, so let's shift this to the right side, and let's delete this. Let's fix this cut nicely, and I'm gonna make this a bit lower, and I'm gonna select everything and move it upward just a little bit, and just keep dragging it down until it reduces the excess folds there. And yeah, I think that looks good. And I'm gonna make it a bit to the right side. You have to tweak this as much as you can, because you have to, because I don't know why, but you have to unfreeze everything except this strap and simulate. So yeah, that's looking really amazing. Now let's make my favorite thing, which is ruffles. But first, let's keep this turned on, the saw internal line, and then use internal polygon. First, I'm gonna make a line like this, and with the curvature point tool, I'm gonna curve it just a bit, so it just curves like that. I'm gonna put it a bit upward. Create another internal line like this, and make sure this point and this point matches closely. You don't have to match the exact same, but closely. Another quick tip here I want to show you. If you want to move them very precisely, just zoom out as much as you can. If you move this point while zooming out, if I move just a bit, you can see it moves a lot. And it cannot be very precise with the movement there. But if I zoom out, if I zoom in so much and then I move, then you can be precise. So if I if I zoom in all the way, so I can just be very precise and just do my little nitty-gritty things here. So yeah, that matches up quite nicely. And then to smooth this, I'm gonna select the edit curve point and curve it to make this as a straight, smooth line. And then I'm gonna select this point, right click, extend trim to parent outline to go extend that. Select this point, hold down D, and let's move it where we want. And then with the curve point, let's curve it just a bit, not very much, just a bit. And select this while holding D, and let's make this and curve it like that. Make sure this area it's smoother and you're happy with the shape. That's the most important part. Now select this and this lines, right click, extend trim to parent outline, so there will be no excess points, which can be problematic. Now I'm gonna select this internal line and then make a line like this. It should be center and almost straight like that. Let's keep it like this for now. Now select everything and then freeze. Let's keep it frozen, and let's make the ruffle, which is pretty simple. Just add a rectangle like this. Make sure to have a width of I don't know, maybe 70 something. So now let's take so from this to that and see the measurement with the edit sewing tool. If you hover over, you can see 1488.0. That means this is that millimeters of gap of this piece is way longer, but I don't want that long. So I'm gonna reduce it to until it get 600 maybe. So see this line 600, it's good. Let's see first, and let's place it here and simulate. And you have very amazing sweet ruffle. I love it. Let's make this width of this ruffle 60 or 65, almost 65. Yep. Now select that, Control C, Control V, put it there. Select that, rotate it like that, and put it behind. The right click, reset 3D arrangement. Let's keep it there. Let's rotate it like that, and then segment, so like this. And again, see the measurement, which is 468, but I want almost 600. So select that and make it wider, which is 600, which is perfect. Select this piece, freeze it, and then simulate this piece. And then sew from here to here. So I'm gonna sew from here to here. Make sure the sewing threads are not reversed. Let's delete the sewing and then simulate both first and let it drape. Let's breathe a little bit and then sew it like that. So yeah, I have a continuation ruffles pattern, and yeah, looks good. Not very good until I reduce the particle distance, but I'm not going to reduce it right now. Now let's bring this down, this line where this pattern base ends. So I'm going to drag it down. Yeah, like there. Otherwise it will create some collision issue because that's the 3D world. And I'm going to select that as well. Make sure this measurement is 65 almost. Sew it and then make it wider. 200, 200 or 300 looks good, I think. Let's see first. No, 200 a bit wider. So freeze everything and unfreeze only this and then simulate. Let's see. Let's make it bigger. Let's keep it this side. Try to simulate and make sure the vertical distance for this is 5. For now, I will reduce it even more later. So you can also add a bit width to that so it just drapes nicely. And of course, I'm gonna go and drag it upward to that area and make this a bit longer. Simulate to see. And yeah, I think that looks good. I'm gonna make it a bit wider. The longer you make, the more folds you will get. And now select this line, right click and offset as internal line, maybe 5 millimeters. Good. Okay. Now select this, right click, convert to group point and add a point here. Let's create another fabric piece like this. Make sure this is 65 almost, and sew it here. Make sure this is 600, which is currently 1000. So 500, 600, yeah, almost. Let's place it nicely and then freeze everything except this and then simulate. and try to keep it this way possible, like this way. I'm gonna make this a bit bigger. Just 800 should be fine, I think. And try to pull that to fix some issues there. And let's keep it in this area. And for that, I'm gonna select and add another fabric only for this. Select that, assign it, select this fabric, and in the detail panel, I'm gonna increase the density to 35. So it will be a bit heavier and fall down nicely. Maybe 40. This doesn't look very amazing unless I reduce the border distance, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Control C, Control V, and right click in 3D window and reset 3D arrangement. Let's sew it like that. C7, make it a bit bigger. Freeze this as well. Place it here and then simulate. Now, right click and deactivate, and then right click, hide it, and see this only. So let's simulate here first. Let it breathe just a bit. Now select both, unfreeze, and just keep them here, like don't spread them like that. Just keep them there. Let's make it nicer. Yep. And then sew it like this. Let's reduce the particle distance of this two to 5 for now. I will reduce it even more because I want the sweetest ruffle possible. Let's simulate for a bit and it will just drop down nicely like that. Looks pretty amazing already. Let's select that, right click, and then show 3D pattern, and right click, activate. Let's there and freeze this and then simulate to simulate on top of it, and then unfreeze everything except for this. So unfreeze everything. Let's simulate and now freeze everything again and add a point right about in the middle so it will automatically snap there, and create another fabric piece of width 53 is okay, I think. Let's segment so like that and see the distance, which is almost 300. I'm gonna make it 400. Let's rotate it. Let's place it there. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. So 460. Let's simulate to see how it looks. I'm gonna reduce it. 415 is perfectly fine. Then Control C, Control V, that area, and then rotate like that. Let's simulate like this. Sew it like this. Place it behind like that and simulate. Let it breathe nicely and heavily. Let's sew it from here to here. Make sure the sewing threads are not reversed, which is here in this case reversed. Right click and then reverse sewing to make it straight and simulate and let it drape, and also reduce the vertical distance to 5 to drape it even nicer. See this amazing ruffle. I love it. Let's make this and this a bit wider. So I'm gonna make, so I have 65 almost. It's a matter of preference to whatever you like. That's the real freedom. Then I'm gonna put another point in the middle here as well. I'm gonna select that, Control C, Control R to mirror paste like that. And then segments, so here in the 3D window, it will be a bit easier. And here as well. Then of course simulate to have amazing looking ruffles. Anyway, now everything is almost done except for the vertical distance. I'm gonna select this, activate first, and then reduce it to 4. Select that. I'm gonna reduce it to 5. No, I'm gonna reduce it to 4 as well. I don't care about my PC. So select that, unfreeze, make it 3. These ones, make it 4. Yeah, this might be overkill, but I love ruffles. That's it. That's the reason, honestly. I just forgot one more thing, which is select this and this points, as you can see here, and drag it upward. So you have this straight ruffles there. You don't have this pointy angle. So something like that. This as well. So just select that and move it upward. Oh, not that. This. Select that and move it like that. So you have a nice straight kind of ruffles. And simulate everything and wait just a bit. Look at that. Isn't that looks amazing? Yeah, ruffles always looks amazing. I'm gonna select everything and I'm gonna assign a pose. You can prefer any pose you want, but I will pose this character to something I like that goes with this slit cut design, which is, yeah. All right. I think this pose is the best pose for this kind of dress, and it looks amazing. All right, guys, this is my new CG Trader account where I will sell my digital dresses. I don't naturally sell my designs online, but I think this is a great way to support me and my YouTube channel so I can make more content like this. So if you want this red dress, go and find the link in the description. Make a CG Trader account. It's very simple, and then you can purchase it. Or if you don't want to purchase, just go here and add a like. I think it helps the algorithm to boost my digital dresses. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead, see everything. And I also have some free content. I will also publish free content here. So keep supporting me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have learned something from it. If you did, give a like to this video and subscribe to get more videos like this. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.